Listen, is there anything more stressful than walking up to a hotel front desk, tired from a long flight, and suddenly realizing you have to speak English? It's a total panic moment, right? Your heart starts racing, you're worried you're going to say the wrong thing, or worse, you walk into your room and find something totally creepy, like a hidden camera, and you freeze because you don't know the words to complain properly. We have all been there. Today, we are not just doing boring textbook drills. I'm going to walk you through the chaos of real travel, from awkward check ins and demanding refunds to ordering room service when you're absolutely starving. By the end of this, you'll be handling travel drama like a total pro. Section 1, the It's Just Me check in. Let's start with the basics, but with a twist. Usually, check in is easy. Hi, I have a reservation. Boom, done. But real life isn't always that smooth. Imagine this. You booked a romantic getaway for two, but last minute your partner flakes. Maybe they got stuck at work, or maybe, let's be real, you guys needed a break. So you walk up to the desk. The receptionist asks, "You booked a standard room for two, correct?" This is your moment. You don't need to over-explain. You just say, "Well, plans changed. It's just me now." I love the phrase plans changed. It's the perfect way to shut down questions without being rude. Now, in our story, the receptionist tries to be sympathetic, saying, "I'm sorry to hear that." If you're over it, just be honest. You can say, "It's fine. I'm a pro at this now. Honestly, I'm just here to relax." And here is a pro tip. If you are traveling solo but have the budget, always ask about upgrades. In this scenario, the guest decides, "You know what? I'm alone. I deserve better." She asks, "Can I extend my stay?" If the hotel says they're fully booked for standard rooms, don't panic. Ask for options. This guest got offered a suite with an ocean view. It cost $320 extra, but she said, "Charge it to the card on file. That's my husband's card anyway." That is the energy we want. If you want to treat yourself, the phrase is, "I'd like to upgrade to a suite." Simple, effective. Section 2, the red flag room. Safety first. Okay, things are about to get serious. We need to talk about safety. This is a huge topic on TikTok right now. Finding hidden cameras in Airbnbs or hotels, it is literally everyone's worst nightmare. Imagine you walk into your room, you're checking the vibe, and you look at the smoke detector. You see a tiny lens reflecting light. Major red flag. You cannot just let this slide. You need to go straight to the front desk. You don't need to scream, but you need to be very firm. You say, "I just found a hidden camera inside the smoke detector." The staff might say, "Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry," but sorry doesn't fix it. You need to know real English conversation practice like this situation. You need to say, "This is a serious violation of privacy. We should get a full refund and a free stay." Don't be shy about using the word compensation. If they offered to move you to a new room, make sure you ask, "Will security double check that room before we enter?" In our scenario, the manager stepped up. They offered a premium suite and a dinner voucher. That is the least they can do. Remember, if you feel unsafe, polite English goes out the window. Be direct. "I don't feel safe here" is a sentence you must know. Section 3, the Karen moments. Dealing with discomfort. Now let's switch gears to the everyday annoyances. Not hidden cameras, but things just breaking. You check in and the AC is dead. It's a sauna in there. Or maybe the faucet is leaking. Drip, drip, drip all night long. You cannot sleep. I had a student once who was too scared to complain, so she just slept in a hot room. No, we are not doing that. Here's how you handle it. You call the front desk and say, "There's a problem with the heater," or "The tap is leaking." If they say, "We'll send someone up," ask for a time. How long will that take? If they don't fix it fast, you say, "I need this fixed now," or "I want to change rooms." There was a guy in our story who was dealing with a broken AC, and he was getting heated, literally and figuratively. He demanded a refund. The manager offered a 50% discount. That is a win. Also, noise complaints. If your neighbor is blasting TV or the elevator is clanking all night long, you say, "The noise is disturbing. It's impossible to sleep." If the staff gives you an attitude like, "Oh, it's just peak hours," you don't have to take that. You can politely say, "I'd like to speak to the manager." There's a fine line between being a Karen and standing up for yourself. If you're paying for a service, you deserve a quiet room with hot water, period. Section 4. Dining and being hangry. Let's talk food, because when you're traveling, you're usually hungry. First up, reservations. You call the restaurant. Hi, I'd like to make a reservation for 4 people at 7 p.m. They might ask about seating. If you want a view, ask, can we get a table near the window? Or, do you have a table in the non-smoking area? Now, ordering. This is where people get nervous. You sit down, the waiter hands you the menu. If you don't know what to get, ask, what's today's special? In our example, they had coconut shrimp and prime rib. Sounds amazing. You say, I'll have the prime rib with rice. But what if the service is slow, like really slow? You have a meeting in 20 minutes and your food is missing. You catch the waiter's eye and say, excuse me, we ordered half an hour ago. We're in a rush. That is polite but urgent. And the worst case scenario, the food arrives and it tastes weird. Maybe it's super salty. You don't have to suffer. You can say, excuse me, this doesn't taste right. Or simply ask for a fix. Could I get some extra napkins? Or can I get some salt? Also, let's talk room service. It's 2 a.m., you want a sandwich. You call down, I'd like to order a club sandwich. Be prepared for the question, how would you like to pay, cash or charge to the room? Usually, charge to the room is the easiest way to go. Part 4. The serious stuff. Interviews and hotels. Okay, we're in the home stretch. Let's level up. These are slightly more formal situations. Situation A, the job interview. This is Alice. She's 22, fresh out of college. She's at a clothing store interview. The manager asks, tell me about yourself. Alice says, I graduated last month. My major is marketing. The manager asks why she wants to work there. Alice says she loves fashion and helping people. Then the big question, do you have any experience? Alice says, yes, I worked at a small cafe. I helped customers and worked fast. The manager asks if she is hardworking. Alice says, yes, I am very energetic and I can work for many hours. Energetic is a great word for an interview. It's better than just saying, I am active. Finally, Alice asks a smart question. What is the uniform for the staff? The manager says, black shirt, blue jeans. Simple. Situation B, the hotel check-in. Now meet David. He's traveling. He walks into the Sunshine Hotel. Receptionist, can I have your name and ID? David, here is my card and my booking paper. Or maybe he says reservation. Both work, but reservation is more professional. Receptionist checks the computer. You booked a single room for 3 nights. You chose a room with a city view. View is what you see out the window. David confirms. He also checks for 2 essentials. Does the room have a large window and Wi-Fi? Priorities, right? Gotta have that Wi-Fi. Receptionist hands him the key. You are in room 405. The elevator is over there. In the UK, they say lift, but here in the US, it's an elevator. David asks one last thing. What time is breakfast? From 7 to 10 in the restaurant on the first floor. So, guys, looking back at all those conversations, did you notice something? The words weren't super complex. They were everyday words like fresh, delicious, fabric, energetic, view. The reason listening feels hard is usually because people connect these words together really fast. But once you know the context, like knowing we say set the table or fitting room, your brain stops guessing and starts understanding. I really hope this breakdown helped you realize that you can understand native speakers. You just need to practice active listening like we did today. If you found this helpful and you want to keep training your ears, please do me a solid. Hit that like button. It really helps the channel. And if you haven't already, subscribe to Learn English with Jennifer. I've got a ton more lessons coming your way to help you speak like a local. Thanks for hanging out with me today. Keep practicing, stay cool, and I'll catch you in the next video. Bye!